Welcome to Intro Skippers, the podcast. I'm so tired. This is a mini episode. Hi, Jason.
Hi.
This is Kim. I'm an entertainment reporter. I cover things, sometimes really long events that are all day. Introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Jason, and I'm an entertainer. And yes, I watched you from afar this weekend, and watching you do your thing, I was, always impressed with what you do.
Well, it's rare that I actually do live event hosting. It's usually video, but it was fun.
But see, to me, I always know when you go to Comic-Con and you do things live too. So to me, I feel like you're doing live stuff all the time.
Of like a live screaming audience usually. Well, I guess usually at Comic-Con the audience isn't screaming. Well, sometimes they scream.
Yeah, because usually I'm down below your balcony and I'm like waving up and screaming at you, and everyone's like, "Hey, dude, stop screaming!
Leave that woman alone."
Yeah. I'm like, "No, but I know her," and they're like, "Yeah, whatever, buddy."
No,
yeah,
my husband
sure,
does
pal.
that. He does it on purpose though. He goes like, "We're meant to be together. I love you," and it's like, oh, everyone's gonna think you're a creep.
Mm-hmm. That's
but
great.
He likes it. He's weird.
Well, okay, so for people who are listening, you just got back from hosting this crazy event. It's the second year. It's a relatively new event in a space where events like this have happened in the past, but this is a new one. It's called IGN Live. Tell me about it.
All right. Well, this is the second year of IGN Live. It is a live event held around the time that E3 used to be held in downtown Los Angeles as well. And it is a celebration of gaming, of television or streaming, movies, just all kinds of different pop culture and media that the IGN audience would enjoy. Gamer stuff, nerdy stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it is a lot like a Comic-Con, but it is 100% run by IGN, which is one outlet that goes to Comic-Con and doesn't really normally do that. So we have this venue. This year it was the Reef. It was last year at the Reef as well in downtown LA, specifically called the Magic Box. And when you walk in, there's a huge room with a stage with screens all over it, strobe lights, a DJ. It looks like a lot like a party inside. And there's also arcade cabinets. There's also different booths. There are tons of gaming stuff, and it is very much like a party, like really lively atmosphere. I was always like shocked. I don't normally get stage fright, but when the crowd started screaming for prizes and stuff they were excited for, I thought, oh, I'm a little scared, but not for stage fright reasons. And then there's a room off to the side that has lots of demos from new Xbox games. There was they have those rodeo horses that you can ride on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They buck you off. We had one for the game Ark, and it was a monodon, which is a creature that looks a lot like a whale or a narwhal. And
wow, and you get to ride one of those?
And it'll buck you off. And
did you try it?
The horn comes off and the fins come off, but they can reattach. I did not try it because I needed to not mess up my makeup or hair. And I was wearing a dress one day, so that's not usually a good combo. But there was also a stage in that room where we would do spotlights with different gaming developers, movie directors. The voices of Rick and Morty were there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think you probably know them. And just tons of PCs to try out new games, lots of giveaways. So last year they gave away 10,000 prizes over the course of the event. This year they gave away 20,000 prizes.
And what were some of the prizes?
Well, a couple. The big prizes were Nintendo Switch 2s, which just came out.
Nice, yeah.
But there was also an Xbox Series X. There were several peripherals for gaming, PC gaming. There were just so many T-shirts. So many T-shirts.
Please tell me you had a T-shirt cannon and that you were like shooting.
We did, but
people.
I didn't fire it.
Oh,
I'm too scared to fire it, so I just started whipping them with my hands, like throwing them.
Yeah.
And we
Safer
had
bet.
these giant Batman Adam West cowls, like the full cowl that his character would wear in a huge box. And I was like, I'm not throwing this. This is so dangerous. We had to hand them off. And
wow, I kind of want one. Dang.
I don't know. I felt like I'm not used to such of a lively, borderline aggressive energy.
They're like, give me one of those cowls.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Please be nice to each other. Don't hurt each other. Please,
give me the cowl and nobody gets hurt.
Everyone calm down. No. But, we literally have a team called the Hype Team who keep the energy up. They do fire a t-shirt gun. The women of wrestling were there, and of course they bring a lot. They bring the heat.
Oh yeah.
So that was that's the main stage. The side stage I told you was the spotlight stage, where it's almost like a theater in the round, and there's seating on 3 sides, and the other side is just in the rest of the hall, where you can watch different things, and then everything on the stages is filmed and streamed to the audience at home, and then made into videos to watch later. Upstairs we have they call it, I think, IGN Theater, but I've been calling it the panel room.
Okay.
That's where the larger panels were. And we have an artist alley. We had the fanfics, which was where you could meet and greet me. Mm-hmm. We had challenge areas for Mario Kart World, which is the launch game for the Nintendo Switch 2, where you could play against the IGN experts. There are people who literally reviewed the game for us, and our Nintendo experts playing. And I didn't do that because I did actually do pretty well on Mario Kart World, but that was not baked into my schedule. Sorry. We had Charizard with a sign that says "Do not touch Charizard."
And then there was an update that said "Do touch Charizard."
Yeah, and it definitely wasn't me editing a square into the original photo.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I tell you what, though, I can't wait to play the new Mario Kart on
It's
the
fun.
new Switch. But I'll be waiting in line like everybody else for a while to get one.
Way bigger. You can have so many costumes. Oh, I shot a little. Okay, it looks like a regular summer. IGN does Summer of Gaming. That's the event that's primarily known as being headlined by Jeff Keighley, but we've done some work with them covering the various things getting shown off, and we did have this pre-recorded discussion about Mario Kart World, and it looks a lot like a normal segment where it's like, hey, what do you think of the controls, the new features, blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But we filmed it to be a comedy sketch. So the joke is the lead host, Damon, says, oh, it's so awesome, I have 2 consoles in my office. And then 2 of the other hosts, Brian and Max, are like, you have it in your office right now? And they make eye contact with each other while I'm talking. And then in the next scene, one of them is replaced by a body double wearing the exact same outfit. And the next scene, both of them are replaced by body doubles in the exact same outfit. And then in the next scene, I'm gone and I'm replaced with a broom with googly eyes and a tape recorder taped to it.
What, they couldn't spring for a body double for you?
The joke is that I was just like, screw this. And I made a really hasty body double.
Okay.
I really like it. I'll share it later. It's maybe the funniest thing I've ever shot for IGN. But that was just part of the programming on Friday. The live show was Saturday and Sunday. And I had a lot of things to do, different people to interview, different panels to host. I did do the meet and greet. I did open the show. I did have walkout music, which you and I discussed.
Right. What was your walkout song? Because I couldn't tell in the footage what it was.
I think they turned it off.
Oh.
Actually, because that was only for the live audience. I think it was copyrighted. So probably not in the official broadcast. Because they asked me, oh, what is your song? And I was like, I can pick anything. And they said, you can pick anything. And I picked something that was definitely copyrighted. So the vibes are different. I mentioned that.
Right.
And, it's almost like a WWE vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked the best WWE, in my opinion, music that exemplifies me. which was Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance theme.
Yes. We talked about you. Maybe you were going to pick that one. That's awesome.
Yeah. And on day one, I wore my regular clothes. I took off the jacket and I put a men's t-shirt on over. And I ran out and they were like, Kim Horcher. And I went, yeah! And I ripped the t-shirt open.
What?
And then I started dancing. I've never done anything like that because who would it? I don't fight with my body. I fight with words.
Yeah, you do.
And so I did that, and I did not tell my boss I was going to do it. So he was like, "What?" But he liked it, so it worked.
So
well.
you ripped the t-shirt in half?
Yeah.
Cool.
I looked up tutorials on how to do this, and it was like cut the collar, cut the seam on the bottom, and then I cut 2 holes in the middle and stuck my hands in them.
And that's where, that's
and
great.
then I just ripped from there.
Cool.
And it was really easy, actually. I might do it constantly if the opportunities arise.
That could be like your signature move.
But I was wearing it over a shirt with like even longer sleeves.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm not a man. I can't just show up, and rip my shirt open and be topless. It's not that kind of show. There are kids at the venue.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if parents were temporarily shocked and about to cover their children's eyes.
No.
Okay.
I clearly had a shirt that had longer sleeves than the t-shirt. So,
Okay.
I was fully dressed. I just wanted to be a weird wrestler.
I mean, if I could count all the days that I wanted to be a weird wrestler, there'd be a lot of days.
And with none of the training.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we do it next year, I might do it again. Come on down and watch me act like a lunatic. So I also had that day, my first thing was an interview with our mutual friend, Matthew Mercer, over his new game, Daggerheart.
Who I saw later that night.
Oh, yeah?
And
Where
we
were you?
discussed your interview. We were at a mutual friend's birthday party.
Oh, that's nice.
So I was like, hey, I think Kim interviewed you today.
And he was like, I
"Yeah,
think she did too.
Yeah, he was like,
Actually,
yeah, she did.
During the interview, the teleprompter malfunctioned, and the guy in my ear was like, go to the outro. And I was like, fix it. Because we're recording live, but there's also an audience, and there's also music. There's other people on mics. It's chaotic. And Matt kind of saved me. He was covering for me while they fixed it. So.
Oh, that's great. Well,
good bro. What a bro.
Yeah, what a bro and what a pro,
Truly. No.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone who is a fan of Matthew Mercer knows this, but he's a good guy.
It's kind of his brand, but it's also the truth.
It's kind of the truth. It's kind of really the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciated that, and we got to roll. Well, we had a D10 because IGN rates things on a scale of 1 to 10. And even though Daggerheart is played on a D12 system, we had them roll the dice to push the custom card creator for Daggerheart Live. It was great, and everything worked out.
I love it. That's really good to hear.
I
Now,
also got to I did the Criminal Minds interview.
Oh, okay.
With Aisha Tyler, Joe Mantegna, and Zach Guilford, and Erica Messer, who is the creator of the show. And I also convinced them that we needed to do social video because Aisha Tyler was pouring margarita samples for everyone. And, like, obviously I should go drink margaritas with Aisha Tyler. It's for content.
Right. It's social media gold.
Yeah,
and it's
so
work. It's work related. Margaritas.
It is work. We did it for a video. I can drink the margarita, and like we clinked glasses and drank, and I was like, I am living a dream, because I think Aisha Tyler is so cool. Really
and she's a nerd too.
She is a nerd.
She's a diehard nerd like all of us.
Back in the E3 days, she was pretty well known for being a part of the Ubisoft Direct and being pretty much the MC. And she does game. She's Lana Kane. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really look up to her. And she lived up to it, which I'm happy to say.
That's always good, because sometimes when you meet your heroes and they disappoint you, it's not for a good day. But when they do, that's lovely. Mm-hmm. So you interviewed some writers from Star Trek one point, correct?
I did the IDW Comics panel, and it was incorrectly labeled as the Star Trek writers panel, but we also had the writer of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which was kind of a really surprise huge hit for IDW during 2023. And it's kind of like if Dexter was a cute anthropomorphic animal, like Dexter x Richard Scarry. But it's serious.
That's something to think about. I'm trying to envision that.
It's pretty grisly. So he's making a sequel to that, and that's coming out this year. And we also had the writers as well from 2 Star Trek books, Star Trek Red Shirts and Star Trek Strange New Worlds Seeds of Destruction by Christopher Cantwell. He did the Red Shirts one, and I only got 1 issue of that. I didn't get any issues of Seeds of Destruction, but it's based around Strange New Worlds, which I think you also really like.
Yes. Well, can I tell you something? While you were interviewing them, I was making a Star Trek announcement of my own.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw that. Sorry, I was running around, but tell me more.
Yeah. So now I have worked on the video game Star Trek Online for many years. I'm the voice of Q. I'm the voice of the Klingon computer.
You're Q?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Do it.
I need to. I can't do it. I
okay,
can't.
He's got to get in character. I
have to get in character. Yeah. But in the latest update, I voiced this cool villain. He's a Zenkethi. He's a Zenkethi Vron, and he's kind of like the bad guy of the new mini story arc. And then I also voice a Borg. So on the same day that I announced that, though, I was at a table read for a project that I cannot disclose, and it's actually not Star Trek related, but just randomly Rod Roddenberry was at this table read. So I met
Roddenberry like?
I met Rod Roddenberry on the same day that I made that little post, and I was like, hey man, this is too much of a coincidence, check this out, because we were not there for a Star Trek thing at all. He just happened to be at this thing. And he was great. He was super nice, and his father created Star Trek, and he is the. Well, I'm just explaining that to our listeners. And
I actually did a podcast for Roddenberry Entertainment, but I never met him. But I recorded several times. Executive produced by Rod Roddenberry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good name. But
you know him. I've never met him.
Well, I just met him. I met him for the first time, but super cool guy. Super nice guy.
Maybe he's as elusive as I thought.
Could be. Yeah, because that was my first time.
I did. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just thought it was neat that like we were both doing something or announcing something Star Trek related at the same time.
Yeah, it's kismet.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate what they were doing with Red Shirts as well, because it's like, oh, we make a joke about them all getting killed off, but this book is like, hey, we're security, and that's important. And you know what? Maybe we will die, but what we do matters. And we all have hopes and dreams and families. And it's like, oh, maybe we should stop making jokes. And the covers are like a skeleton wearing a red shirt, a melted face man wearing a red shirt, and it's like, oh man, okay, this is going to be wild. Is everyone going to die? Like in Andor or Rogue One. So that'll be interesting. I also did a Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy reveal with 2 of the people from Wizards, and it was awesome, and they were awesome. So I covered a lot of things that I genuinely like.
That's great.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Final Fantasy franchise is something
you're part of that too.
Part of and near and dear to my heart. So I'm glad to hear that you got to do that. And people are really excited about these Magic cards.
I have 2 starter decks, or 2 boxes with 2 starter decks. So I guess I have 4 starter decks.
Wow.
They were like, you can have these, and I went yes, and I stuffed them in my backpack. Because they're not for sale yet, or they weren't as of the time we recorded that interview. So I'm really excited to see who's in my starter decks and if I won any golden chocobos thereof.
When I was in Japan, I ate chocobo chips.
Aren't they birds?
They are.
You ate bird chips?
I guess I did.
It wasn't potatoes.
I'm pretty sure they were potatoes, but
Okay.
they were marketed as chocobo chips, and so I had to have some.
Maybe they're for chocobos.
That could be it.
I never got to go to the Summer Games Fest. I wish I could have, but I mean, it was open today. Today is Monday that we were recording, everyone. But I was way too tired. I've been so tired because it's not just Saturday, Sunday, 9 to 5. I'm working. That's just when the show's on. I'm working a lot more than that. I've been at the convention center, or, well, the place where we're having the convention, since Wednesday of last week. And it's been a lot of work to get it there. It looks easy in the moment, but events are hard. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, you're prepping every second. And for as long as I've known you, you are a very you prep extensively. You over you not I don't want to say you over prepare.
I think I irritated some people with how much I like to prepare this year. Because I was on this one, I'm not going to name names on this because I don't think that's a good thing to do. But I was on this one panel and we weren't getting any of the assets or information until like right before we went on. And I was really pushy about it. And I was like, we need something. You have to tell us something. We can't produce this with no information. And I kept like shaking different trees around the office to try and get this. And they were like, look, it is what it is. So I think they needed someone who was more go with the flow. And I'm more like, let's cross every T, button everything up. It all needs to be ready. I need to prepare for different eventualities. So, it's a good and bad quality to be very prepared.
I think it's a good quality. You're an incredible organizer, and,
I don't think
it's
that's
all
true,
good.
But thank you.
No problem.
I mean, for this episode, I was thinking, oh no, what am I going to talk about? But then you said talk about your experience. And I said, oh, okay. I guess I do know what that is.
Well, and look, you're going with the flow right now. See? So you can do both.
It's possible for me to chill. Okay, I have some chill. Everyone, please note down on this Excel sheet that I have chill. And sign it.
Excel. Oh, you just made me think of a project I have to work on. It involves an Excel sheet.
I'm sorry.
Oh well, no, it's okay.
I didn't know that was a button.
I'm now triggered. No, it's okay.
I didn't mean to stress you out, but I understand why you might be stressed out.
Yeah. Life of the freelancer.
Truly. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. To be staff. Ugh. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it, y'all. In this economy, it's hard.
Yeah.
So, if you feel like you listen to this podcast and you want to hire me, I am open to that. Please email us at introskipperspod@gmail.com.
Kim will take job offers. You can email us right at
I
the
might say
right
no.
at the podcast. Yeah.
Don't send anything gross.
No, God. She'll entertain job offers. That's it.
Yeah. And don't say, I've got a job for you right here, okay? Because I know where it is, and I don't want any.
All right, well, next...
But we're a little serious.
Yeah. Next week, we'll be back on track. We're going to watch something that we both love and talk about it again. Or maybe we both will hate it, but it will be something that's available. And
I've been toying with the idea of describing something to you that you've never heard of. But we'll see. We'll come up with something.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And thanks for popping in after your long weekend of crazy work.
I'm just happy to have a day off today. Because I know some of my coworkers sure don't.
Oh gosh, I bet.
Yeah.
Are they tearing things down and packing things up?
Some of the crew is tearing things down, and some of the crew is at work keeping regular operations going. Because guess what? The news keeps coming.
It never ends.
It never ends. Like when I worked for the news station, it truly never ended. There was someone on shift 24 hours a day, every single day of the year, including Christmas, which was when low-ranking employees like me had to work. Anyway, I'm in entertainment now. It's different. It's more chill.
All right.
I think that does it for today, right?
Yeah.
Any more?
No, I think that's great. And, thank you to our listeners for sticking with us on this one. And we'll be back to our regular programming next week.
Yes, we will. And we'll have all our power back. And we'll emerge from our cocoons as gorgeous butterflies.
I love it. Can't wait.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Intro Skippers with Jason Charles Miller and Kim Horcher is produced and edited by Kim Horcher and Jason Charles Miller. The name order doesn't really matter. Additional writing by Kim Horcher. Theme song and incidental music by Jason Charles Miller. Take it away, me. You can rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars only, please. And you might find your review read on a future episode. Got a question? Email us at introskipperspod@gmail.com. That too could be featured on a future episode. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Intro Skippers on your favorite podcast platform. All right, for getting this far, you get a reward. I stopped talking.